Hey, what's up, guys? This is T-Bone here, and today is Friday. It's actually just a day after I've done the stream where we did some deck building. But what I wanted to do today is actually focus on the proving grounds. Now, there was an announcement that was made, a couple of days ago, or actually it was yesterday, and it was talking about the proving grounds, what it was going to do with both the store as well as the tokens. And so this is one thing that I wanted to talk about because a lot of people had a lot of confusions and we had a lot of questions before. And I have made some statements before too about what I thought was going to happen with with the proving grounds, and it turns out that it's actually not what I expected. And so I wanted to talk about it. I'm sort of in the same situation as well right now, where I have to decide what to do with my 10,000 tokens, and also what to do with my what hero I'm actually going to pick. And so I thought what I'll do is, open this up to stream. Hopefully people would join. We can talk about it, and I'm going to talk through my decision making and sort of what I am going to pick. I am definitely going to be picking one of the cards, and I'll tell you the reason why I'm definitely going to be doing that, and why you may not want to actually spend your coins depending on your situation. So Phoenix 3, welcome here. Good morning to you. So let's talk about the update first. Okay, so the update that they talk about is in this news feed here. Welcome to the season of giving, and so if you take a look at the news feed there, they talk about the Proving Grounds currency rollover, and this is where they're this is the big thing that we've been wondering, like, what's going to happen with the currency, what's going to happen with the Proving Grounds tokens, and also what if we were to buy the choice coin. And so what they explain here is that the protector coins, which is the same thing as the Proving Ground tokens I was talking about, they're going to continue to accumulate. So however much you have right now, it's going to stay into the next season. So they're going to split. Really, they're going to start doing seasons now, right? So everything is going to be falling in the same time frame as each of these seasons, and the coins will not disappear. So you're still going to have them, but the choice coins will not. And this was the big surprise. This is the surprise for everybody, and I wanted to talk about sort of my thoughts on this decision, how it impacts you, and what we can do about it. And Malias and Do, as well as Falcon, welcome to the stream here, and Gumpy. All right, so the choice coins are the coins that you can purchase using 10,000 of these protector coins to get a historical Master Collection card or a ultra rare card. And we originally thought that you could buy one, not use it, and then use it again the next season. Turns out that's not the case. So if you bought one and you don't use it, it's going to be lost. So if you've already bought a coin, you have to use it. You must use the coin to get yourself an ultra rare card or a Master Collection card. And I'm also here to talk about what you should get in that situation. Okay. And so the next thing that I want to talk about, which is very important, is that they're not going to two things. They're not going to refresh the Proving Ground store until after this upcoming season. So that means you're going to see exactly the same heroes the next time around. But the problem here, and this is something that I'm not sure people understand, they're going to be rolling out souls. That means they're going to make it so that anytime you get a new hero, a Master Collection card, or an ultra rare card, it's going to come with an associated soul, which is good, because a lot of the older heroes, you needed to sacrifice them in order to create the ultimate form. However, if you actually were going to get a hero now from the current store, you're going to be getting it without the souls. And what happens when they introduce the soul system is that you will not be able to use that Master Collection card or the ultimate form for the ultimate like the ultra rare card or the Master Collection card. You're not going to be able to combine the two. So that means they're not going to roll back to existing Master Collection cards. So let's say today we buy a Master Collection card, and tomorrow they roll out the souls. Well, that Master Collection card you just got from the store will not have a soul added to it. And because they are adding the soul system, you cannot forge an ultimate form using that old Master Collection card. It's really confusing, and it's really unfortunate that it's gonna happen this way, but essentially that means if you've bought a Master Collection card now, you have to sacrifice it to forge a Master Collection, to forge the Ultimate card, Ultimate form. There's really no choice, no other way around it. So that is where we are today, and it isn't great. I'm not happy with this decision because it does two things. Number one, it has never been communicated this entire month about what they were going to do with the choice coins, and I think we had a lot of miscommunications and a lot of questions. Now that they've actually sort of decided on what they were going to do with it, it's not the greatest decision, because we're sort of in this situation where, well, do you spend the coins now or do you spend the coins later? Like, what's the point of bringing in another store the next time and then rolling out the souls so that you can't actually combine the Master Collection card or the Ultra Rare card to create your Ultimate form? And so it's just it is what it is. And so now I'm sort of faced with the decision on what am I going to do. So let's take a look at the cards here, and let's talk about what I think we should do. All right. And so I'm not sure if anybody who's in the stream right now, if you have any questions or your experience, if you've already gotten the card, let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your experiences as well. So there's a couple of things to keep in mind. Number one, if you got the shiny Dr. Noonan or the shiny May, those two will not be available. Like, you cannot use those two to forge an Ultimate form using the Ultra Rare card that you get from here. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is there are certainly some Ultimate forms you should not go after unless you already have a card that's going around. So like you have a choice, okay? But assuming you have a choice, make sure that you stay away from some of the other ones. Like I've talked about, like, hey, some of the Ultimate forms are just not that great. So the Aswamp pair, that's not really the greatest. Let's see. So the other ones that's not really good is the Magma Ventrix plus Alpha Ignosaurus combination. It's a really old Ultimate form, and it requires another card to give you that Molten status. And because you're going to be sacrificing an Ultra Rare card to forge the Ultimate form, you're going to need to use a support card which has a higher requirement in order to power up. So it's not going to be a very helpful Ultimate form. It's not going to feel very good to use. So I wouldn't use that. I've already talked about the Vendor and Kaliba combo, the Timeless Lovers. Hellboy would have been the other one, except Hellboy does have souls. So it's not even listed here anyway, but this is not a great Ultimate form. So the one with Prince, and this one is actually not bad because it's a gem destroyer and also a power gen spawner. So this is not a bad choice to have. And the Blossom deck, this one is also a very similar, where you have to basically use the Overgrowth. So this is actually a different one. This is kind of like the early version of the Spirits United deck. So you spawn your Earth Gems, and then if there's an Overgrowth status that's active, then it spawns Power Gems instead. So same thing, you're gonna have to use a support card just to power the Ultimate form. It doesn't stand up well by itself. It doesn't really work. And so let's see. So Phoenix, if you've been saving your coins for the next generation of heroes in the store, even if you don't have the Ultimate of these, they're old and not so good. Yeah, so if you currently don't have any Master Collection card or the Ultra Rare card, then you don't really have to worry about buying any cards here. Like, I wouldn't recommend buying anything anyway. These are old cards. That's not going to be as helpful. If you already have a Master Collection card or an Ultra Rare card that's just kind of sitting there and you like it, then this is where I would say, well, go ahead and use the coins. The reason is because you can only use one coin per season. So at most you can get is one coin. So if you save up a lot of your tokens, you're still only going to be able to use it for one coin per season there. So you're not going to be able to buy two. And the additional ones that you save, then you could probably use it on the crate. So if you have enough and you wanted to get the coins, then let's talk about what you should go after. Okay, so I'm kind of skipping ones that are just okay, but really, like Kill Drone and Automation of Agony. This is the one that I also talked about. It was actually number 5 on my list of like I felt wasn't as great, so I wouldn't go after that. Unbound Marionetta, this is an interesting one. So as a Master Collection card by herself, it's actually pretty good. But once it converts into a ultimate form, it actually becomes a card that is like a trap deck where you can't use it until after you get hit. And so this is, while it's okay, it's a lot of people have sort of talked about like not enjoying the mechanics as much. Now, the thing is, this deck is actually pretty powerful, and this actually has souls, right? So if you have an Unbound Marionetta, for example, you have the soul already, then you can get the Splinter Stalker, and then you'll get the soul for it as well. So you're not actually going to sacrifice anything. So this is actually a better deal compared to the rest of the cards. And so that's sort of like my take on it. So Rock for Life, for this particular stream, I'm just focusing on, like my thoughts about the Proving Ground changes, how we can't actually save our coins for the next season, and I think that's a really terrible idea. And so wanted to talk about what you should do depending on your situation. So Mariska and Murky Salmon, welcome to the stream. Fire Piggies is a good one indeed. So let's see. So between Luden, Prince Beldier, Drosselmeyer, or Sergeant Sausage, I think that they're all good actually. Drosselmeyer has the nice, nice addition where it gives you the power gems. I think it goes up to 8 power gem force as an ultimate form, and it increases the damage taken by the enemies. It is a little interesting because it does cost 50 gems, so you're not going to really take advantage of the ultimate gem from that. Now with Luden, you're going to have a basically straight up 6 to 8 power gem force, and it doesn't have. It also has a 50 cost, so it's the same thing here, but it has a pretty nice low cooldown force. So those would be the two that I think I would pick between. The piggies, I think this one requires you to have up to 300. No, this one just creates 8 power gen force. So all three of those are exactly the same. So then I think it just depends on what would work well in your overall affinity. Okay, so Drosselmeyer is going to be a commander deck. So it depends on whether you like you like to focus on commander deck, or would you be able to use I personally feel like getting a Slayer ultimate form would be a little bit more useful, because you can use them in ultimate bosses in Slayer events. Generally, I don't find that commander events are greatest for taking on the ultimate bosses, just because of the limitation in keys. But you don't have that in Slayer. And so for me, I'm gonna take a look at my cards right now. And so if I take a look at Generation 3 heroes, I'll show you like where I'm at, right? So Generation 3 heroes, and we take a look at by age. So you can sort of see like what cards I have, and I'm going to sort of make a decision on what I want to do. And so the problem is, if you craft the ultimate form, you're going to lose the ultra rare Master Collection card. That is exactly the reason why we were all looking forward to the souls being introduced. But what I mentioned, you guys might have missed it, is that they're not going to bring back souls for any Master Collection card or ultra rare card you already have. And what happens is, those old Master Collection cards, so let's say I have Aswang, okay? This card, once they introduce the souls, I will never be able to use this to forge an ultimate form. I'm going to have to get another one, another season from now, to basically, I have to now get another Master Collection card that has the soul, and another ultra rare card that has the soul, in order to create the ultimate form. Like, this card will never be used anymore. And so this is something that Ronan Ross actually has been advocating for as well, and I agree with it largely. And that is, if you have a Master Collection card or an ultra rare card from early Generation 3 days that you think you're still going to want to use, you might as well use the coins to create the ultimate form now. Otherwise, you're never going to be able to use it. It's just going to be a card that's going to be sitting around. And so then, if that's the case, then you should consider like number one, are you still using it? Do you like it? And number two, what will be the best choice? Now, if you do craft one, I'll show you, something that is very important that you may not know if you joined the game after the whole, losing the Master Collection card and Ultra Rare card thing, is that if you've awakened a card, then you don't actually lose the awakening. And so Biolume, for example, I have Biolume at, it's maxed out and it's 4 times awakened. If I were to go ahead and evolve her, I would actually be able to carry forward my my awakening levels from Biolume in order to, craft the true luminescence. Now, I am going to lose both my Master Collection card and my Ultra Rare card, but I am going to be able to get a card that will have a more powered up version of my Master Collection card. So that is sort of the trade off there. So Ronald Donovan, what cards are the best cards for Heavenly Inspire 1-4? I'm not sure. I can't remember off the top of my head, but we can take a look after I decide on what I'm going to do. So right now I'm sort of trying to pick between two or three. And I'm really torn. Okay, so I've got the Sky Swarm Kachina, and it gives you the duet, which gives you a power gem creation, and also the swarm buff, which gives you power gems every time a turn delay is used, as well as it also gives you a turn delay on its own. Okay, now this is a Earth Commander card. And so I could pair that with my my Halloween deck, and that would work well. I have Drosselmeyer. I have 2 Drosselmeyers actually. So this is one where I was thinking, well, I have 2 Drosselmeyer. I can actually use 2 of these. But the thing is, I have, and it creates a nice set of power gems. But I have, the thing is, I already have the K-pop deck, and I'm not sure if I see this really used in that deck there. So like this is something that I'm really torn, but mostly I'm lacking the ultimate forms in commander events. Like I get a lot of Master Collection cards, but I don't get the ultra rare. I wouldn't be able to make the Luden, and the only Slayer one that I can make actually is the Jockey. And this one is it's going to be a I think Beast. It's a Beast Killer. So Alfonso the Goblin with the jockeys there. So these are all the choices, and so I couldn't really decide. Although I kind of feel like I'm probably going to go with Biolume. And the reason for my decision, and hopefully this kind of helps you in your decision making too, is that I actually have, if you take a look at my Water Commander cards, I actually have a lot of Ultimate Relics. And so I could actually at least take advantage of my my Luminescent Locket, which will be helpful because I can also start with commander points, and it will actually fully charge a commander's skill in the beginning. And so all of these things is pointing me towards a water commander deck. And since I don't have an ultimate form in the water one, that's probably what I'm probably going to do. And so tomorrow will be the last day. So right now you still have 1 day and 16 hours remaining to decide. After that, it's going to be gone. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and buy a coin. I'll be left with 900 coins, and I'm going to use that to buy a few crates. I'm not going to be able to get enough for 2,700, but I can at least buy 3 crates, so we're going to try them out. All right, so having said all this, having sort of gone through all of this decision making, I feel like for me, I could really boost up my Earth Slayer deck with this, but like I said, I kind of feel like I want to just power up my Water Commander deck just because I don't have the Water Ultimate Form. Now these are the 2 I'm left to decide. Because if I DJ, how are you doing? So this is really a sort of it's really hard. It's really hard for me to decide because if you look at my Earth, I've got ultimate forms for if you look at by power, I guess should do by power. I actually have a pretty good Earth Slayer team at this point, like sort of the Ultimate Form teams. I've got the Harwin Gorilla, the United Taurus, and the Unbreakable Sisterhood. And the ones I don't have, is the Jockeys, and the other one, which is I don't remember exactly the deck anymore, but this one, the Blossom one. And so this would give me 4 Ultimate Forms total, and that would be really helpful in. It would be really helpful in the Proving Grounds, actually, but I actually just kind of feel like I'm not going to be able to take advantage of that. What do you guys think? So like that's my Earth, Water Commander, and then my Earth Slayer. I don't really have any like really good ones. I mean I do have the Chakram, which gives me a revive. So if I get him, I could at least use it anytime for a revive deck. But I'm not sure which is going to be the best option. So Mount Filmart, the only thing that's going to carry over is the coins that you can use to buy the choice coin or the crates. The choice coin itself will not carry over. Yeah. So the choice coin is not going to carry over, which really sucks. But the reason why I bought this is because I have a bunch of Master Collection card and Ultra Rare cards that are just sitting there from the old days. And if I don't get them, then I'm not going to be able to take advantage of them. And so now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of want to see this. So like one good way to also look at it is if you go into the Master Collection card here, you can actually choose to evolve, and then you can sort of see the battle skill of this. So the Furious Goblin Jockey. Let's take a look at the skills here. So it'll create 6 Power Gem 2s, and it places a trap. So if you get hit during that trap, then it creates 3 Power Gem 4s. It does increase the Earth Slayer attack. So it's a trap deck. So that turns it's a trap deck, which is okay. It does cost 25 skill points, which kind of sucks because then it is something that I have to figure out. Okay, so I'm not sure if I really feel like I'm not sure if I'm really feeling that. I think I'm gonna go with my True Luminescence. That's what I'm gonna go with because I actually did. I power her up to 4 times Awaken for a reason because I really liked her. Her ability. At least that's what I'm thinking. So Sal, let's see what you're saying. Do I have the Enchanted Earth Slayer Relic? And if so, do the Earth Slayer? Yeah. So that's kind of like. That is definitely the factor that I am thinking about. That's the only reason. And then the other question is like, okay, so or do we go with the bioluminescence? And let's take a look at the water one, right? And I'm sure this is the kind of questions you guys are probably asking yourself as well, like what should you go with and what's the best choice? And so if you go to Biolume, so the True Luminescence will create 9 Power Gem 4s, and it starts with 5. So like right off the bat, it does give you 5 Power Gem 4s, and it does create 3 Power Gem 2s for 4 turns, basically, at a rate of 1 for every turn. So basically, like the higher skill points you have, the more turns it actually creates. It's a 6-turn cooldown. But I do get a nice boost from my relic. But if I save my coins, I can buy a choice coin later or that I can use. So Mariska, the reason why that I bought it now is because you can only buy 1 choice coin per season, and so I am fairly certain I'm going to be able to get a coin next season as well, and so I'm still going to be able to get it. And so now the question is, when you enter the next season, the problem is you're not going to be able to combine your existing Magic Collection card or Ultra Rare card. Okay, so here's my situation with my Water Commander is that I don't have and here's my thinking. I don't have an ultimate form for my Water Commander, And since we're going to be cycling, this is going to be the first Water Commander event that I think we're going to recycle back to Noble Killer bonus for Water Commander. And so that I think I'm going to go with the Bioloom. I think it's going to help me with the Water Commander event next. And so despite the fact that I generally like my Slayer decks better, I think that for me, I don't see myself using that as much, and I haven't really had the need for the Revived Relic as much. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the Bioloom, and then we're gonna open some crates as well. I haven't opened a crate, so we're gonna go ahead and purchase the Wave Mother Millie. So there it is. I got my card there, and I'm going to go ahead and now craft the ultimate form. So this is how you would evolve it. And when you forge, you are going to sacrifice both of these, but I think the awakening carries over. So let's see that. So when we forge, it carried over, and my power level carried over as well. So now I have the true luminescence, and I do have I can now take advantage of my my relics. So to me, I think this is a better choice, because then I can pair this with the sharks. And if you see, like, I don't really have any other great Water Commander either. So this is, for me personally, I think something that I could power up on. So Mount Fillmore. So what you have to understand is that next season, it's more than likely that the cards that you get will have souls that come with it. They're not actually changing the store, which is good. But when they come out with souls, all of those cards that you get from the store, you're not going to be able to pair it with your previously owned Master Collection cards. So in other words, as soon as souls are introduced, you're going to have that Master Collection card or that Ultra Rare card just going to sit there, and you're not going to be able to use it. You're not going to be able to create your ultimate form until the next time when you can get your second card also with the soul. That's the problem here. The problem is the fact that when they introduce souls, it's going to screw up everything. And so for me, thank you very much, guys. I am actually pretty happy with that. So the problem is all of my existing Master Collection cards, like, my Alfonso and my Drosselmeyer, all of those cards that are basically just going to be sitting there. The earliest I'll be able to create something at this point, essentially, assuming they never change the store, is going to be 2 seasons from now. And so that's why if you already have one now, before they change the soul system, you might as well earn yourself an ultimate form now rather than wait for 2 seasons. Now, of course, the choice is still up to you, but because the coins don't carry over, you can only get one every season anyway. You're essentially going to be amassing the protector coins for the crates, which is still going to be useful, but you're missing out on the ultra rare or the ultimate form that you could potentially get. And this way, you can guarantee yourself an ultimate form, thank you, Phoenix, and not have to worry about the soul, not soul thing. Now, they could completely change it all again, which is fine. But with the information I have right now, this is the decision I've made, and hopefully this helps you understand what you like. If you choose not to do anything, that's fine too. So I'm not advocating you have to do something. I just feel like for me, I just wanted to just go and get this over with. So when next season they start with the souls, it's going to be from a fresh start. So that's where that's where I'm at with this. All right, so let's go ahead and open a couple of crates now and see what we can get from this. I've never opened a crate. And so I wanted to see what we can earn. So this is, I guess you get 1 item per crate. Yeah, so you can't actually, I thought you'd get a lot more. So I guess that's why it's still better to get the 10 times so you can get more items. So I got the Mossy. So I got a 4-star gauntlet. I think you're going to expect to get those things more often. And you also can get, so I got basically 3 different things. So I got a scroll, and a scroll and a gauntlet and one of those mossy things, which is required for you to upgrade to a 6-star if you have like a 6-star, you need to be able to get to the affinity one. You need this, and you need a protector right. I think it's called a protector right, and protector rights also come from the crate. So like didn't get that there, so gonna have to keep opening it. And now we're down to, well, I'm down to about like 100 or so, less than 100. But that's 10. But we still have a couple more days remaining, so I'll still get a couple more coins there, and I'll carry over to the next season, and then we can decide to get it then. And so Phoenix, it's terrible that you can get the ultimate form when they do the update, and how will you get it? Exactly. That's exactly the point, is that if you have an old Master Collection card sitting there, and then they introduce the soul system, you are completely locked out with that card. What you could do with the Master Collection card is use it to awaken your ultimate form, or you can keep it in your team, but honestly, you're not going to use the extra Master Collection card from like way back when for the card for the decks now. What you're going to do is you're going to take the ultimate form so you can actually use it in your decks today, but when they it will come down to when they actually introduce the soul system. As soon as they introduce it, all of your old Master Collection cards and old ultra rare cards that require souls, they're not going to retroactively add them. Like, we'll take a look at the newsfeed, right? They're not going to retroactively add them, and that is the biggest problem, is that they're not going to make it possible for you to take your existing cards and form an ultimate form. The shiny cards that you earn from the seasons, May and Dr. Nuna, you're not going to get souls for those in order to create your ultimate form, which it kind of boggles my mind. Okay, I had before talked about like thinking that, oh, maybe you can save your coins, carry over, and you can have 2 coins, so you can just get an ultimate form right there, and then you basically wait 2 seasons. Like, I think it's a pretty good sacrifice, right? Save for 2 seasons, don't do anything, and get yourself an ultimate form. And depending on how long the seasons are, let's say the season's 4 to 5 weeks, right? So that is 8 to 10 weeks before you can get an ultimate form. That's old. To me, I don't think that's a problem, but they are making it impossible to do that. And so this is really sort of like, what I think we could do right now for ourselves to at least get something out of it before they change things up. Okay, and so here it is, the souls update. They're not going to retroactively add souls to any historical heroes obtained before the update. And so this is the one thing too that just like, okay, so they're not going to do that. And any choice coins that you get is not going to roll over. That's the second thing for me that I feel is just bad decision. So it is what it is, but hopefully this helps you make a decision on what you want to do with that. And so, Mariska, you were just thinking about the upcoming missing cards. If you get an Ultra with the Soul but missing a Master, you could get the... So, if you get the Ultra Rare in the next season that comes with the Soul, and you're missing the Master Collection card, then you can wait until the next season to get that. So, it's not really like you're not going to be able to do it. It's just that if you have an existing Master Collection card, next season you get the ultra rare, but it comes with the souls. You can't forge it in ultimate form. So then you gotta wait 1 more season to get the Master Collection card again, get the souls for it, create your ultimate form. Now you're left with ultimate form, Master Collection card, ultra rare card, and your original Master Collection card that you couldn't use, right? But at that point, who's going to use this deck? Who's going to use this whole team with the old Master Collection card and the old ultra rare card? It basically just makes you waste a whole season, right? It is a wasted season. That's how I see it, right? In the end, it all evens out, but this right here, right now, this is sort of, I would say, the hardest part. The fact is, they never decided to go back and retroactively add souls to those heroes in the first place. When they changed it halfway through the season, added souls, it was a great thing to do, but they never bothered going back to changing those those old heroes. Now that they're doing it in a way that cuts off any of the cards that we've previously obtained. So it doesn't help us. It doesn't help any of the, like, we generally won't go after these really old Master Collection cards anyway. A lot of us are sitting there having spent on the cards, work really hard on the runes. We were in runes back then. To get those Master Collection cards and to basically be left out in the basically we're left out Is how I feel about it, and that is just how I feel. Right now, I just don't feel it's really fair. But at the same time, like I know it's really hard to complain about something that you're obtaining for free. At the end of the day, ultimately, this is still the best thing that's come out for the game. I still will say that, regardless of how I feel about the changes that are taking place because of the soul system. The fact that you can get a free Master Collection card and an Ultra Rare card simply by playing through the Proving Grounds, it's still the best thing for this game. It's just that a lot of the people who have played for a while are sitting there with the old Master Collection card and Ultra Rare card that have been really excited by this. It just really dampens the whole experience. So that's how I feel about that. So Sal, you got the temple. So the TPG relic, the relic, unfortunately, only will become more relevant once you can get it to Affinity Gauntlet. And I know that sucks because you still need to get one of those Protectorite stones. But once you get one and you can get it to this, then this is where you're going to be able to remove those stuns. And that's really what makes it the hardest, like being able to remove stuns. I think if you get a 6-star, you're not going to be able to remove the stuns, but you're going to be able to deal more damage over time. But the problem is, like, by the time you can really benefit from the damage increase, your heroes are all going to be stunned anyway, and so that's not going to be as helpful. So gauntlets only really helpful if you can get the Protectorites, and this is where you're going to have to, like, you're going to have to spend on the, not spend, you're going to have to really invest in these crates. And this is the other, I guess, this is another way to think about it. If you choose not to get the choice coin this time around, and you save all of that into the next season, well, what you'll have is an abundance of the protector coins for you to both get the choice, so you can get one Master Collection card or Ultra Rare card, and you have additional tokens left to buy the 10 times crate. So that is an option there that can give you the highest chance of obtaining something for the gauntlet. But honestly, like, if you have a really good team, then you'll be able to get pretty good scores anyway. So it's almost like first go after the teams, like make yourself, give yourself a nice ultimate form that you can add to your collection, and then worry about the gauntlets later. Gauntlets, to me, I think is a more longer term investment. So, like, don't expect to get something really great right off the start, but you will get there. With the crates, you can get some there, and but I would invest in this every season. Like, I don't think there's a reason not to. The only thing that I would really caution is if they come back next season and say, well, the store is not going to be refreshed, but it's going to have souls. Well, if they don't give us souls for the previous one and they give us souls for this time, we're not going to be able to make an ultimate form anyway. What happens in the season after that? If they refresh all of this, then didn't we just get screwed over again? Unless we can somehow get the old Master Collection card or the Ultra Rare card somewhere else. So, like, to me, this is just really messed up. And so this is, like, I'm just going to leave it at this. I don't know what the next season is going to be like. I'm going to wait for that to come back, and then we're going to have this conversation again before the season is over, so that we can talk about what should you do with the choice coins, and it will largely depend on whether or not the soul system is implemented. So let's see. So you asked me about Old Simple Relic, not about TPG Relic. Oh, sorry about that. Should you craft the old UR relics? I'm sorry. It depends on how many you have. So this is what I did. Like, I actually went ahead and crafted the old relic. If you take a look at my my gear, my Water Commander relics, I had 4 of these relics laying around. And what I did was I just used them all and create a 2-star, 2 pink star ultimate relic, because my expectation is I'm never gonna get an old relic. Like, where am I gonna get an old relic from the bioluminescence biolumes event, right? Like, how am I gonna get that? I have never seen an ability to get a old Generation 3 relic up to this point. I've seen the Generation 2 relic in the weekly stores, but I have never yet seen an ability to get something from event that's like way past. You can now get something from the previous event, but we're talking like really old relics here. Like I've never seen another one since then. And so to me, holding out on the possibility of getting a rare, you also need to remember, you need to also get a rare relic in order to forge the ultimate form. Whereas with the old system, you just need, two of the same. And so to me, I just went, you know what? I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to wait for it. I have the opportunity to get this now. I have enough commander relics at this point to take advantage of it. I don't need to wait for the like, because I'm not going to go and spend gems to buy an old relic. That's the thing. I'm not going to spend gems to buy an old relic that I'm not going to use. And so to answer your question, I chose to just go all in. I just went for it. Like whatever whenever I had multiples of anything, I just went ahead and got them. And I didn't have that many anyway, because back then I never really had the opportunity to get more than one relic anyway. This was the very special case where I got four for very, very, very cheap. And so I got three. I actually got three of these relics by tier 2. Back then it wasn't Vault, but I basically bought the relic pack and I got 3 of them by tier 2. And then they came back the next event with an ability to buy the relic again, so I bought another one tier 2 again. So basically 2,000 gems, I got 4 of these relics. I just went ahead and got them all. So for me, that's how I decided to that's what I decided to do with my old relics. You could also, if you have more than one, if you have more than 3. So if you have 2, I say just go for it. If you have 3, well, you might as well go for it anyway, because you can only create a one pink star one, and then you have one left over. And then when you introduce a soul, maybe you can then get the rare one. But I would say that's going to be harder to do. So I would say that you should always get the one pink star anyway. Like it doesn't really make a difference. In fact, I think that it might actually be more useful for you, because as soon as they introduce the souls, remember, same thing. As soon as they introduce souls, your old relics, even if you have 3 or 4, if you have 6, 10 of those same relics, you will not be able to create the ultimate form anymore. Don't be put in a situation. I would say, like, get your ultimate relics now instead of holding out on hope that you can get a rare relic to upgrade it. And then be in a situation where you have so many relics that are the same and you can't do anything about them. Okay, so that's how that's my recommendation, and that's what I think. So Ocean Waves, you are going to get the card that comes with the soul. That's the difference. And once you have the card with the soul, the only way to upgrade it to forge an ultimate form, whether it's relic or the card, is if you have the corresponding soul. That's how they've implemented, so you don't sacrifice the card. That's how they've implemented, so you don't sacrifice a relic too. So it's the same idea, right? And so I'm trying to see here, like for example here, in order for me to upgrade this to a another pink star, I would have to get the relic, the rare soul. And this is the one that didn't need to be, look at this one. This one actually requires you to have 3 more. If you have 3 of these relics, then you can evolve to 3 again. Once this changes, once you get the soul for this and they introduce the soul system, then you're going to have to get a rare one. And again, I don't even know they're going to give you the old soul for, if you're going to give you souls for the old relic anyway. I don't really know what they're going to do. So now you're going to be stuck with these relics that you can't upgrade because they take away this ability that this is going to be changed to the new way where you're going to see, like, do you have souls from them or not? It's just so complicated. So like to avoid, to keep yourself, I guess, sane and not have the headache of having to deal with it later, I think that getting it to your ultimate relics now is your best option. Like all those times that we've been saving and saying, should we or should we not? Now that it's 50 weeks later since the introduction of Generation 3 and these Generation 3 relics, I think it's safe for us to go ahead and forge them. Now, I know that I will probably eat my words if they come back with an abundance way of getting the relics, okay? or these old cards. At that point, we can come back and discuss, but I don't think we're going to be in that situation, and I don't think that is going to necessarily make anything worse than where they are right now. As things stand right now, if your old relics aren't forged to ultimate forms, you're not benefiting from it anyway. You're not benefiting from it right now if they're just sitting around not forged, and you should already have enough commander relics at this point that you're less likely going to choose to use those than anything else. So that's where I think you could benefit from just biting the bullet, going after that. And so that is actually what I wanted to talk about today. So I went ahead and I got the the true luminescence. I'm happy about that decision. And I opened up a couple crates and didn't get the protector right, which is really ultimately the one that I wanted to go after. But at least we can kind of see like what to expect there. And so that's what I'm going to focus on. I'm not going to talk about the current event or anything like that. Hopefully this helps you. I would like, share this information if you feel that this is helpful, because I think that it's really important that we are well informed and that we could make the best decision with what we do. So I'm going to keep this short. And just wanted to say thank you, everybody, for joining me in the stream here and for having this discussion. And I just saw your message, Phoenix. Before I sign out, can I show the skills of the ultimate form I just forged? Okay, so yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea. So I will. I wanted to make sure not to make this too long, but let's go ahead and do that. So let's do the true bio. Like what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add a couple here, and we'll leave that there. That's fine. And let's go ahead and do this. And actually, let's go ahead and add a dragon. So let's add a water dragon just so I can take advantage of that deck, that relic. So I think it's Malacosta. And I'm just gonna go and put in this guy. All right, so let's talk about the skill for this deck. So the best way to do this is going to be, I'm just going to go ahead and play a boss, right? So I'm going to go ahead and go up against an earth boss, and that's okay. So, right, so I'll do this and make sure that I can survive. So I'm going to go, it's noble, so I'm not going to be able to get the killer bonus, but it's noble. Yeah, it's not noble because this is going to be chaotic. But if I were going up against a noble boss, I would be able to benefit from it. Okay, so the battle skill here is that you're gonna get 5 right away, and the more skill points you get, the more you're gonna be able to create, and it goes up in increments of 75 for the number of power gems, and then increments of 100 for okay. So I already dispelled fear, so that's good. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. So if you can get 100 skill points, let's say, then you're gonna have 2 turns where you can create power gem 2. So now I can go ahead and activate this. Right, so you can see I should create 6 power gem 4s, right? And then the next turn I'll be able to passively create power gem 2s for 2 turns straight. Okay, so you can see here it will go ahead and create 2 power gems, and that's the skill here. Like it's not bad. It really is a and then if you can get to 300 skill points, then you're going to have 9 power gem 4s, and then you're going to get 4 turns worth of power gem 2s every turn while you wait for the skill. It's not a bad ultimate form there. So hopefully that helps you, Phoenix. I just saw your request there. So thanks for that request there. I think that would be helpful. And so let's see. So Sal possibly we will see as a point. Yeah. So maybe they'll add relics in there as well. And here's the thing, right? Like I might sound like I'm pretty upset about this whole situation, and I'll be honest, I'm not happy with just this particular decision. But I do feel that if they were to add it into the store, that's actually a really good thing. Just because it is something that it's additional. It's something that's additional for free that we can choose to do. I would prefer if they, separate it out to 2 different coins, so that way it could actually incentivize us to, save our protector coins, so we can buy 2 coins and we can spend it on a relic as well as a card. That's just me, right? But so far, this still the best thing here for the game. I got my ultimate form for free, so I can't complain, right? But I just want to make sure that we're doing it the right way. So that's it for me for today. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for your feedback, everybody. And T. Martinez, thank you very much. And so that's all for tonight. And hope you enjoy the event and enjoy the Proving Grounds. And remember, 2 more days left before you make the decision. And I will see you next time. All right. Take care. See ya.